Amusement park battles are back, and it's Six Flags St. Louis versus Kings Island. I'm not doing thrilling flat rides or family rides or any of that in this park battle, but what I'm doing with this amusement park battle is doing which coaster collection is better. Now, both these parks I've been to, and they're pretty good amusement parks. Six Flags St. Louis, they don't really have that best coaster in the park that is super big, very good. But Kings Island, they have tons of great rides, but they are a little bit lacking in depth after their big four. So it is tough to say which collection is better. But to me, I feel like to have the perfect coaster lineup, you need 3 over-the-top coasters and a ton of depth after that. So let's move on to the B&M Inverts. This is a 3-point category. Batman the Ride, the traditional cloned B&M Invert versus Banshee, and Banshee destroys this Batman the Ride due to being a very unique B&M Invert and being the second generation B&M Invert, unlike Batman the Ride. And it has an awesome color scheme as well. Massive wooden coasters worth 2 points, Boss versus Beast. I'll have to go with the Beast on this one due to its very unique style of layout where it's very drawn out, tons of straight sections through the trees. It is a very unique ride. 2 lift hills. The Boss is good, even though it is a little rough and not that easy to enjoy. The Beast overall is the better ride. Boomerangs worth 1 point. It's the classic Vekoma Boomerang model versus the classic Invertigo model. Some people could choose the Invertigo model over the Boomerang, but overall I choose the Boomerang because St. Louis's Boomerang was very smooth when I rode it. The co-roll was awesome, the vertical loop was awesome. It was just a very fun coaster. The only complaint about it is that it is cloned everywhere. While Invertigo was rough and it wasn't that good, so that's why I'm going to choose Boomerang over Invertigo. Classic Sitdown Loopers worth 1 point, Ninja versus Vortex. Ninja, very bad ride. It has some very rough moments. While Vortex, I found to be just pure fun, and it's my favorite Aero Looper, so that's why I'm giving it to Vortex. Aero Mine Train's worth 1 point. River King Mine Train versus Adventure Express. And overall, I give this to River King Mine Train. It's the smoother ride. It has a nice ride time, 3 lift hills, and it has a drop that goes through a tunnel, which is awesome. Adventure Express, though, has some cool theming, but it is a little too rough to enjoy. PTC Wooden Coasters worth 2 points. These are some solid PTC Woodies, Screaming Eagle, and Racer. The Racer did not give me a lot of airtime at all, while Screaming Eagle gave me some decent airtime, and Screaming Eagle is also the smoother ride, so I'll give it to Screaming Eagle, even though Racer is a racing coaster. I just prefer Screaming Eagle. Premier Rides Launch Coasters worth 2 points, Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast, and Flight of Fear. And Flight of Fear, I just did not like this ride. It was just too jerky to enjoy, so overall I give it to Mr. Freeze. Both launches on these rides are good, but Mr. Freeze, you can't beat that backwards launch. One of the best launches out there. Great top hat. The vertical spike is good. The bank turn is good. And overall, Mr. Freeze is the better ride. GCI is worth 3 points. American Thunder versus Mystic Timbers, and Mystic Timbers will push the lead up by 3 against Six Flags St. Louis. Because American Thunder, I've heard that it does have one clone, which does kind of stink, but I love American Thunder due to its ejector airtime, sweet turns, and very fun ride. But Mystic Timbers seems to have the better layout, in my opinion. It has an awesome curb drop and an awesome out and back section with tons of ejector airtime, and overall, Mystic Timbers looks better. And here we're at the final part with the extra coasters. St. Louis will get 1 point for Pandemonium, which is their spinning coaster. It's a solid ride, but nothing too special. But with Kings Island, they actually have some solid rides after the coasters I just mentioned. Backlot Stunt Coaster is an underrated launch coaster at Kings Island, but it is cloned, so I'm giving it 1 point. Diamondback's their best ride, so I'm giving it 3 points. Woodstock Express is a family wooden coaster there, so I'm giving it 1 point. There are 2 kid coasters, I'm giving 0.5 points each, which gives it a total of 1 point for the kid rides. And Firehawk is an awesome Vekoma Flying Dutchman, so I'm giving it 2 points. And winning by 10 points is Kings Island. Congratulations. Overall, Kings Island, they have some solid coasters after their main lineup. They may not have the best depth, in my opinion, like St. Louis does or Six Flags Great America, but they're still a very good park, and their over-the-top coasters really did awesome in their matchups against other inverts, GCIs, or other Woodies. So, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos.